Yo, 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 yo. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Culture and Cannabis Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, full-time Tony, here with my guy, Jeffrey Charles Coates.
What is good, my
Just
man?
told you your government name, bro. I know that you're not hyped about that. Any debt creditors, they can find him here at the Culture and Cannabis Studio.
Here it is.
What's
right
going
here.
on, man? How you doing? Happy Thursday.
I mean, listen, we're here at a new address.
New studio.
New studio off Charleston. You know, feels pretty good, man. Got the green screen popping.
Yes, green screen popping. We're here on the live right now. We got the live rocking.
You're live
I'm
on Instagram?
live here on Instagram.
Nice. We're
What's
live
good?
on the Facebook too.
What's good? But yeah, man.
How's full-time Tony doing?
Tony's doing great, man. It's been honestly a good week.
Nice.
My hair is on fleek today.
Yeah.
I got a new gel, some Suavecito. I don't know if you guys see Suavecito out there, but the gel is phenomenal. I'm rocking my Keep America High shirt today. I'm happy I'm wearing my Keep America High shirt today, but I'm mad that I'm not wearing my Chronic to Wear shirt today.
We got the Chronic to Wear, man.
Yeah, and because we have a special guest.
We do.
Who do we got?
Yeah, Nick from Chronic to Wear, founder, is in the house today.
I mean, he's a special cat. He's someone who's been near and dear to the culture and cannabis community. Nick, are you out there, sir? Are you out there in the abyss?
What's going on, guys?
There he is. What's up, G?
What's good?
What's going on?
So happy to see you. So happy to have you on the podcast finally. It's been a long time coming. Man, dude, your story is phenomenal. JC's introduced me to you a couple years back. And it's just been awesome to see you grow over the past years. But I want the people to kind of a little bit know about you and who you are and what you have going on. So just dive into your background.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on. It's an honor, so thank you. My background, I was born and raised in Eastern Washington, born and raised on sports my whole life, overachiever, and then basically, I guess my main story is my Lyme disease. I fight. Probably, I don't know if they can tell, but I got, I'm in a wheelchair with a headrest. But like I said, I was super athletic my whole life, outdoors, basketball, hiking, snowboarding, you name it. 18 years old, I got super sick. I got so sick I couldn't even get off the couch for 3 months. Doctors told me I was, basically schizophrenic. I had a schizophrenic mom. It was psychosomatic. Basically told me leg length discrepancies. I got super bad vertigo. I had to walk with basically a shuffle looking at the ground. And then I more or less just completely changed my life, and I started swimming, didn't play basketball or anything. And this kind of just went on for 13, 14 years. And it just got worse and worse. And, I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't figure it out. And I just kept Googling vertigo, loss of coordination, and joint pain. And Lyme disease kept coming up. All the doctors said, no, you're too healthy, you're too active, because I just push through things. I'd literally wake up at, 6 in the morning, hit the ground running, right to the pool before I got stiff. The pool kept me out of the wheelchair, and I will get back in the wheelchair one day. But yeah, so the doctor, just my work ethic and my dedication, they didn't believe me I was sick. So basically I found the lab, I did the research, and I went to a chiropractor, and I told him what I thought. And, he said, no, you're too healthy. And I just said, sign the paper, please. And it came back positive. And then basically I went on about, 8-year journey of downhill doing antibiotics, and just kept getting worse and worse to the point where I became bedridden completely for 2 years. But now I'm doing a lot better. I was completely bedridden for 2 years. Now I am, I'm in my wheelchair 4 hours a day. And there's lots of gifts of illness. I received a lot of gifts from this illness. I basically was addicted to exercise. I was addicted to achieving things, and I couldn't deal with my mom's schizophrenia. The Lyme disease forced me to no longer run from my problems. I had to sit in my bed, do some deep self-cultivation, some emotional inventory, and I had to dig deep and work on myself. And, I was a raging alcoholic from 14 to 26. So Lyme disease is horrible, but it's taught me so much. And then one of the main things is
Nick, let me ask you about Lyme disease, right? So did you actually finally get a doctor diagnosis that you do have Lyme disease?
Yes. Yeah, I got the blood work confirming I have Lyme disease.
And so you were kind of convinced, just so I can kind of, because a lot of people don't understand the landscape of what it's like to have Lyme disease, and I want to kind of make that clear for people. So you kind of thought that you had Lyme disease if you could diagnose yourself, right? In the beginning of the stages when you were sick, but if I'm correct, you would keep going to the doctors and they wouldn't diagnose you with the Lyme disease. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. They kept trying to blame it on my schizophrenic mom. They kept trying to say it was psychosomatic, which was insane because I wasn't happy.
Isn't Lyme disease like almost like not really recognized by the medical community as an actual disease? Is that correct? I mean, maybe it is now, but like years ago, wasn't that the case?
No, correct. It's still the same way. Everything that I get is pretty much any Lyme treatment I get or anything from my Lyme doctor is out of pocket. And I mean, it's so crazy. There was only one MD in all of Oregon and Washington, and they took his license away, and he had to go to Texas. He just came back. So I see a naturopath. There's no MD who will actually even treat me in Oregon. And yeah, so it's not recognized. The amount of money put towards it is laughable. It's sad, but
so what is Lyme disease exactly? Like, what is the definition of Lyme disease?
It's a bacterial infection from a tick, but it comes with a lot of. You're lucky if you get just Lyme disease. Like me, I got at least 3 or 4 diseases. Bartonella and Babesia are two major ones I fight with, but it's a bacterial infection from a tick.
Wow, that's incredible. And I mean, can you imagine, right? Like, you're plugging along, you're 18, you're an athlete, and then all of a sudden you get sick. But here's the thing, right? Like, you go to the doctor, but the doctors don't even really kind of like accept it. So do you think that some of the extensive, I guess suffering from the disease kind of came from not diagnosing it early in those stages, or?
Oh, for sure. It could have all been prevented. People like, George Bush, our old president, he got Lyme disease, but they got on it and cured it right away. And it's funny you say that because, I went from, really long time. And then when I finally got my diagnosis, it was kind of like a dual thing. I was happy that I finally knew what was wrong, and it validated I wasn't crazy. But at the same time, I was pissed off. I'm like, what? How do I got to go through this for so long? And I got to come and, it was kind of a mixed emotion.
Yeah, it's a trip because, when I got to know you, you kind of taught me about Lyme disease for the first time, and as I got to know you and some of your other followers and kind of what you were doing, you had a T-shirt called Lyme Warriors, right? And you have I think, community of people that have Lyme disease that follow you guys. And I was just astounded how you do the research of Lyme disease and literally they don't diagnose it, right? And people, the awareness of it was shocking to me because I've heard about Lyme disease kind of my whole life, right? I've been, grown up in the Midwest around ticks and stuff like that. You hear about it, but it's incredible that you've had to struggle with that really, serious disease and at the same time not even have it, recognized by the medical community. But you still, what makes your story so beautiful is you've been able to pull out and really highlight some incredible, positive things from your experience. And I think you're about to jump into that. So what kind of gifts do you think that you've earned from the Lyme disease fight?
Well, for me, like I said, really worked on my emotional and spiritual problems, really evolved that way. And then it put me back to chasing my dreams. I originally created chronic wear in high school. I made them in high school in my media class, and the teachers confiscated them. I originally did my first batch in 2004. I did my first run, and I sold a bunch, and I actually got robbed because I was selling cannabis like an idiot. But it allowed me, like I said, mainly getting deathbed perspective and being able to apply it to life, and then put me back towards my dreams. Like my father said, he said, if you weren't sick and you weren't dealing with Lyme disease, what are the chances are that you're making cartoons and sending them directly to Snoop Dogg's manager? It wouldn't happen if I didn't have Lyme disease. So it allowed me to chase my dreams. And the amount of perspective and gratitude that it taught me about
Man.
I mean, out of this world, man.
That's crazy. I mean, can you imagine deathbed perspective, dog?
I think that's a great name for a podcast.
I mean,
Honestly, I don't know if you have a podcast started yet, but that'd be a great name for it.
I mean, I'm not going to go into specifics, but I did not leave my bed for 2 years. I mean, mine is half an hour. I mean, we're talking some pretty hardcore stuff. I'm a Viking, so I'm proud of my how low I can dig or how deep I can dig. I've been some crazy stuff.
Yeah, you're a hustler, bro. You're a hustler, and I think that's a good segue talking about your brand, bro, the Chronic to Wear brand, dude. I mean, let's talk. I mean, the first time I heard about it was almost 2.5 years ago now, 3 years ago now, and I remember because the day that JC had told me about it, we were going to be on a podcast. And he had said, yo, dude, like, and I remember because I was complaining to JC about something. And he pulls me aside. He goes, let me tell you a fucking story, all right? There's a kid that lives in Oregon, or Washington.
Oregon,
that's right. I was right the first time. A kid that lives in Oregon. He's bedridden, and you know what, bro? He got a whole booth set up at the Culture Cannabis event this weekend, and he hired people to do it. He got it all rocking and rolling, and you're over here crying about something. And I was like, okay, well, you're right. And then I remember hopping on the podcast and talking about it because I remember it getting checked, dude. And so it's just been like, so it's super inspiring to me, and you're someone that inspires me personally. That like whenever I'm not feeling it, dude, I think about you and just like the struggle that you've gone through, but how you've not let it affect you at all. And you've been, striving and prospering with your business. So let's just dive into the Chronic to Wear brand. I know you said you started in high school, but tell us a little bit more about it.
So like I said, in 2004, I got 200 shirts printed off, and that was my first run. And I first drew the characters when I was 16. My mother got arrested and was put into a mental hospital. And so, I didn't know it at the time, but drawing those characters was my way of dealing with the suffering and pain I was dealing with. I was taking pain and suffering, and I was turning it into something positive. I didn't know it at the time, but looking back, that's what I was doing. And that's basically our whole purpose and our whole mission at Chronic to Wear is to give people a moment of joy and humor and a little bit of relief from their suffering. Because that's Chronic to Wear is engraved in suffering, but the positive bounce back energy from the suffering into something positive.
And the shirts are super dope. I mean, JC's rocking one right now that was custom made just for him. I am so sad that I did not wear my Chronic to Wear shirt today. I had a meeting with the good old Hash Night and Hash Daddy, so I rocked the Keep America High shirt. With that being said, you'll get tomorrow for me. I swear it. You'll have a post from me rocking that T-shirt because it's literally waiting in my closet. I've been waiting to wear it.
I must say, JC's looking much sexier than you are today. Sorry.
I mean, look how big his arms are getting, bro. He fits perfectly in that T-shirt.
Dude,
it's the shirt.
Hulking out. I love it.
It's the shirt that makes me that look good. Well, let's talk about it. So, all right. So, I think a big part of your brand is the influencer marketing, right? And we've seen your shirts on a lot of famous people, right? Let's talk about some of the people that you've had your shirts on.
The guy from Hot Tub Time Machine, Craig Robinson, that was probably the first person, one of my good buddies who used to run a comedy club, got it up on him. Watts Homie Quan, he's really big now, out of LA. We've got our shirts on him. Right now, lately, we've been doing a lot of stuff with RMM, Big Percy, Snoop Dogg's manager. He's been wearing, we have a CEO bandana edition that we're doing with Percy and his people. We got our clothes in the Place, Las Vegas. So all my Las Vegas people, if you haven't been there, the Place, Las Vegas, inside the Boulevard Mall, 3528 South Maryland Parkway. They're really good people. They got all of our gear in there. And I would say that's probably the major thing. And right now, we got a couple of dispensaries. Right now, I'm kind of switching to going after some dispensaries because, as we all know, they've been one business who's actually done better during this whole COVID thing. So I actually got a couple of dispensaries really interested here in Oregon. Going to send some samples out, and yeah, I think I'm going to go from Oregon, Washington, and then probably California, and just start hitting up dispensaries. So,
Nice.
And then we also, Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I was just going to say, because I remember, I think it was like last year you called me. We had we do regular phone calls, Nick and I, about, every other month or something. Nick will text me and we'll get whatever on a phone call. But this day we're talking about your influencer marketing program. And, you're kind of frustrated about it, I think, at that time. And, you're just kind of starting it. And, we talked about, some different ways how it could benefit your business. Like, let's fast forward, right, from that conversation to today. How do you think influencer marketing has, benefited your business as you went through the phases of, is this working to now it's definitely working?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, as you know, in the cannabis industry, it's kind of hard to advertise on Facebook. And so I think it's pretty much a quintessential piece. I mean, I'm out of Oregon, and Joe Jackson, my co-owner and partner, is out of Omaha. Like I said, I think one of our biggest influencers has got to be Tommy Kwan and Big Percy. So we have a huge LA following, and that's all due to influencers. And I think, they're very powerful and definitely can, propel you forward if you get the right people,
Full-time Tony's been called an influencer.
A couple times. A couple times.
Can we just, power player of the year, Mary Jane? The influence, man. It can sell you products. Right?
100%. I think having, working with influencers is definitely important, because people that gain a following who are well respected in their space, whether that be hip hop, food, cannabis, sports, yada yada, when they take behind a brand, or when they say, yo, I fuck with this brand, or I stand with this brand, it means a lot, right? So I know he's working with Percy. I actually got some of the vodka too, bro. I cracked it open when the Bills lost and got really drunk off that vodka.
True legacy.
That's the legacy vodka.
That's the true legacy vodka, man. That shit is smooth, super smooth. You turned me on. That's the only thing. You got to tell me where I can buy it here in Vegas as well, man, so I could only be drinking that true legacy.
You can go stop in and see my people at the place. Go talk to Bonafide, or go holler at Bear. They'll take care of you.
Okay, dope,
Nice.
dope. Yeah, no, I love that vodka. I've been sipping on it. Maybe I'll break it off this weekend. Maybe we'll do some content with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I know JC's off the booze, but I'm not off the booze by any means.
You can't just look the sexy.
If anyone wants to buy a drink for him, they can buy it for me, no problem.
Let's talk about how do you get the influencers on board, right? Like, I'm sure some of these cats, like Percy, Big Percy, for example, I'm sure a lot of people send him messages and want people to wear, want him to wear their brands and stuff. How do you get that accomplished, right?
Well, as you know, and that's kind of funny you bring that up, it's all about getting yourself out and about and hustling any way you can. That all started from our booth at Culture and Cannabis. And like you said, I was fighting for my life at the time, but I was willing to roll the dice and take a risk and get myself out there. And there was actually a gentleman who was going around the booth that night, and he came and said that he liked our gear the most and that we should go check out the place. And so that's basically how we got into the place. And that was when Percy and Red Grant were business partners. They're not, it's all Percy now. And then, so we were in there for, about, half a year, when it was both of them. And then they had their, parting of ways. And then that's when we linked up with Percy.
Nice. That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude. Just how one thing can happen, man. And dude, it talks to the fact that, yo, you got to put yourself out there sometimes. And you're a testament to it, bro. Like, you had to rely on somebody else coming out here for you to do this event. And it's just so, for me, JC knows I'm kind of a control freak. So there's no way I could have taken that risk. And so it's just inspiring that that you're willing to do that. And it's a lesson to anybody else out there, man, is that sometimes you got to just send it. You got to just go for it, because you never know what's going to happen.
Just got to create that.
You miss 100% of the shots you never take. You miss 100% of the shots you never take.
That's Wayne Gretzky, correct?
That's Michael Jordan.
I think. Yeah, it's Michael Jordan.
What's one of them? One of the goats.
Michael Jordan.
Tom Brady could have said that at this point.
Jeez. All right. So let's talk. Go ahead.
A lot of people don't know Michael Jordan missed the most game-winning shots in NBA history too. You got to be able to invest in failure. And I'm going to go ahead and drop The Art of Learning is a great book for everyone out there. That was just a quick. Sorry about that. I had to drop
No,
that.
No, I definitely want to dive in. It's a good segue, because you're talking about books, and you've sent me a few book recommendations, and I've read them. And I think, what is it, Art of Battle or Art of War?
Art of Learning, Josh Waitzkin.
Art of Learning, yes, yes. So I got through that book. That was an incredible book by this dude that was like a grand wizard chess champion. Then he was like a black belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu and I think Tai Chi and all that stuff. And he just talked about like the process of becoming like master of something like that. So that book was incredible. Like what else are you reading right now?
Right now, let's see. What do we got on the plate right now? Right now, we're just listening to some fantasy books. The Rhaenyra Chronicles. It's a fantasy book. Right now, I'm just listening to a fantasy book right now.
Nice. So you have two characters with the Chronic to Wear brand. I think that's correct, right? The blunted and the toe up, right?
No, we got four. So we got blunted, toe up, meditation, the bald guy with the bong. And then also we got dabbed out, but then I've also been making a bunch of new designs with the stuff with Percy. We've actually, which is awesome because I didn't draw for 4 years because I was too sick, and so the last 6 months or so I've been able to draw again. And like I said, I was completely bedridden. I'm out of my bed for 4 hours a day drawing, and I'm happy about that. That's
beautiful. Where does most of the inspiration come from? You talked about some of it being kind of rooted in some of the stuff with your mom and stuff. Was there any other inspirations that you had for the characters?
I don't think there would be art without suffering. I think that's what a lot of stuff comes down to me in my life is, I just want to first of all, I want to make myself feel better and smile, and I want to make other people feel better and smile. I don't want people to suffer, including myself. And I don't think there would be great art without suffering. Because it's it's kind of like without the dark there is no light type of deal.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
I love that.
The duality, man.
Yes. So, I mean that just kind of like sums up the purpose, right? You know what I mean? It's like, sometimes when they say don't get caught up on people or products, get married to your purpose.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful
And
purpose.
embrace the suck, as my good friend JC Coe says.
Well, and it's funny you say purpose because eventually I'm trying to get on a podcast about Lyme disease in New York. And that's the main thing I want to tell people with Lyme disease is you need to hold on to a purpose outside of Lyme disease. It doesn't have to be a business. It doesn't have to be something major. It can be macaroni sculpture. Or you want to be a tic-tac-toe expert. I don't care what it is, but you got to have a purpose outside of Lyme disease. And I would advise it not to be Lyme advocacy until you're healthy. Because I used to go pretty hard on my Lyme warriors. I kind of backed off on that because it's a positive thing. It's about overcoming Lyme disease, but you're still in that Lyme space. You need to get yourself out of there.
That's great advice.
And so with going forward, what are your steps? Like, what do you think is going to help you become better over time?
Well, right now, I wish I could tell you, but Joe would kill me. We're working on. Or are you talking about Lyme disease or business?
The Lyme disease and then the business.
Well, so for Lyme disease right now, it's all about antibiotics are the key. I have a naturopath, but she believes in antibiotics, which is good. I want doctors that believe in Eastern and Western. But so right now I have, like I said, I have 3 diseases. But right now I'm up to 2 antibiotics, almost halfway dose. So basically we're slowly ramping up the antibiotics. And basically the antibiotics are killing the colony of bacteria. And then at a certain point, the bacterial load keeps getting less and less and decreases. And my body's able to get stronger and stronger and take itself back.
That's awesome. And then you're using cannabis as well?
Correct. Yeah, I don't take any pain pills at all. I basically, so right now, I'm vaping on a PAX 3. During the day, I like to smoke 1-to-1 flower, and then I take a bunch of CBD during the day. I actually was getting it from Harmonious CBD. Great.
Shouts out.
Love your guy. He's a great person, but I found a cheaper source in Oregon. I take like 250 milligrams a day of CBD.
No, I feel it, brother.
But I don't take any pain pills. So yeah, during the day I don't get high per se. I basically do 1-to-1, and then at nighttime I take a bunch of RSO, CBD, THC, and then I blast off with 2 dabs and kind of listen to a couple of hip hop songs and go back to the 90s type of deal.
Love it.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice.
And so with the business side, what's going on? I don't want you to get in trouble either. I don't want no one to hurt you because I have to hurt them. But tell us what you have going on.
Well, Joe's trying to teach me to be a good business person. I can be a good business person, but I tell them this all the time. I literally am running my business to have a good feeling for that day. Is how I'm making a lot of my decisions. But I run them by Joe, and most of the time I don't do it. But for me, that's all it's about. It's feeling good, making other people feel good, and that's not how you run a business. But we have a side project. We're going to be expanding. We're going to have next year, we're going to have a new department. It's not going to be apparel. I can't really talk too much, but we're super excited, and it's going to be huge. We are expanding beyond apparel, for sure.
Dope, man. I'm really excited to check that out. I can't wait for that to happen.
Nice.
Well, and then there's actually, this is a good quote I heard from Big Percy. He was saying, if you got your hands in 10 things and one of those hits, you're doing good. If you got your hands in 10 things and all 10 of them hit, you're doing great. So we're trying to diversify a little bit and come at the game from some different angles. Take a little look from Percy's page.
100%. I completely agree with that.
Pardon me, a page from Percy's book, pardon me.
Yeah, facts. No, dude.
Brick by brick.
Brick, but yeah, it's the only way to do it, man. And you got to have a lot of pots on the stove, and that's the way to make it happen.
I mean, we got a few pots.
We got a couple pots, man. I think we got more pots than we know what to do with sometimes.
Sometimes. Listen, Nick,
you guys are hustlers, man.
Thank you.
I love watching your content, man. I love watching your content. It always gives me a good feeling for the day. I think you guys, align on that same principle of make someone feel better is a goal and a mission.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
We really appreciate you, brother. I can't wait for you to come to Vegas one day and us to turn up, man, and put a couple in the air. And hopefully that time we'll be throwing a culture and cannabis event. You'll have a booth there.
Oh, for sure. And I'm Vegas. I'm definitely there. We're hoping, I don't know, maybe probably about 2 years. We're hoping that's what I want to get to. That's the hardest part for me is I live like a hospital-like setting, and I'm a very social person. I like to get out and about. That's been the hardest part is, if I can, because I basically have severe spasticity and convulsions in my legs. And so I have feeling in them. Like sometimes if I didn't have feeling in them, I could just go throw them around. I could go to the bar. I could get out and about. Because I wasn't raised, or I'm not meant to survive. I'm meant to thrive, and that's sometimes is one of the hardest parts. And it'll be a glorious day. It'll be there. It's not going to be in the near future, but it will happen, and it'll be amazing.
Dude, honestly, we're just gonna throw a party for you. That's what's gonna happen. We're just gonna throw the biggest party we can for you when you're ready to rock and roll. You just let us know when you're ready.
All right, I'm down.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, brother. It was an ultimate pleasure. We're definitely gonna have you back on.
Yeah, where can they find you, Nick?
Yeah, plug yourself.
So so we got chronictowear.com, Chronic like Dr. Dre, the number 2, WEAR.com. We're also Chronic to Wear on Instagram. We have Chronic to Wear on Facebook. We're way more active on Instagram, but yeah, please give us a follow on Instagram. Check out chronictowear.com, and I just want to thank you guys so much, for being on the podcast. And I just want to let you know I truly value you guys' friendship.
Same to you, brother.
Thank you, Nick.
Right back to you.
Love you, brother. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thank you.
Man, that's true. That's why I love this industry, man. That's
Dude,
why I love this community. It's
talk about a goat. You know what I'm saying? Talk about a guy that's just willing to do more than you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do these motivational Monday posts, but it's just like that guy. That guy's it. Yeah. You need inspiration? Go look at Chronic to Wear, man.
Right. I mean, it's the real deal. You know what I mean? It's just, and I forget about that story. Like he's literally fighting for his life at home.
Yeah.
Right. He's got a T-shirt brand. Right. That's like being driven by your purpose.
100%.
He gets a business partner to fly out to Vegas.
Yeah.
He insists on paying me full price for the vendor booth, right? Doesn't want any discounts.
Which is just like,
Gets it paid, comes out here, right? Gets a relationship with the place. Now he's doing business with Big Percy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, quit your fucking crying.
Come on.
Quit your fucking crying. I don't want to hear a goddamn excuse, because every excuse was just beaten down by Chronic to Wear, by Nick, man. So it's just like, shit, dog. It's just like, I can't wait. The day that we're able to have him at a party, bro, it's going to be, that's when you're going to drink next, is when we see Nick again, bro.
Might bust up
we're
True Legacy.
Big TU, big turn up, True Legacy vodka. It's going down culture and cannabis weed all day.
Shit, man. That's
Sorry,
good,
I didn't mean to slam my thing. What we have going on, bro? We had some stuff going on. I just got back from Reno. Yes. It was a great time. Everyone that's here watching on the live, bro, Reno was freaking lit. Yeah, man, it's been awesome. I love going up there. It's just too much fun. We have we got to get some culture as foods going. We've been not stagnant. We haven't had the time really, and so we got to get rocking and rolling again.
Yeah.
So we have some new episodes that we're going to be working on here pretty soon, which I'm really excited about.
I mean, we're scaling a national cannabis business.
100%.
Right, and it's crazy, right? So like, you know, every day, the day-to-day is, you know, what it's like to be an MSO, you know, to run a multi-state cannabis business, right? So
yeah.
it's crazy, right? We're trying to network with as many cannabis brands out there that's moving and shaking. That are good people that want to do good business. Like, you know, we're tracking them down. We're setting up meetings. And you know, it looks like we have some incredible brands that we're bringing from possibly.
We're not going to say anything.
Possibly.
We've got some brands that we're talking to that we might be bringing.
It could be a big announcement.
It could be massive.
It could be, but you're not ready yet.
No one's ready yet.
Okay.
No one's ready yet.
Oh, I mean,
I don't do it until the fat lady sings. You feel me? Like as soon as that check's in the bank, that's when I'll be hyped up about it.
But you can see some more bricks and layers added to our business, and as we scale, it's, you know, we're just you know, try to becoming, you know, a bigger, more impactful organization.
One of the best, powerful media groups, cannabis companies in the world. You know?
Right.
We want to just take over. We want to collaborate with everybody.
Yeah.
We don't want to just take over. We want to work with everybody.
Yeah.
That's the difference, right?
I mean,
that's the difference between culture and cannabis and everybody else is that we don't look at anybody as competition. We look at everyone as collaborators, and that's I think what's the difference about us than anybody else.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we're going to win. And that's the reason why we want to win with other great people and other great companies.
I mean, it's no fun winning by yourself.
Why would I want to just win with this fucking guy? I got to have some diversity, a little bit of variety.
Mm-hmm.
I got to just, you know, I can't just have the bald, buff guy around with me at all times, you know?
It's no fun.
It's
actually a little bit of fun.
But man, I think that's it, really.
That's it.
I mean, what do we, Oklahoma. We're going back to fucking Oklahoma.
We are going back to Oklahoma.
March 11th through 21st. Well, March 11th through 19th, actually.
Yeah.
You're going to see us in Oklahoma. We'll be out and about. We have Chuck with us until the 16th. So if you're trying to connect, you're trying to make some content, come hit me up, slide in my DMs, slide in the Culture and Cannabis DMs, slide in JC's DMs, Leilani's DMs, even Chuck's DMs. Chuck, although he hasn't posted in like 20 years, he's on Instagram. He tries to pretend that he's not. He's definitely on Instagram.
He is on Instagram.
I know he likes my photos. Once in a while, he'll throw a comment if he's really feeling himself. But yeah, man. And that's it. That's the Culture and Cannabis Podcast. I mean, I'm just really hyped. We have anyone cool next week?
I would have to check the schedule.
Okay, well, we're going to have someone dope next week as well. Just as great as Nick. And maybe not as great as Nick. I don't know who's next week. I'm really sorry, but Nick is definitely going to take the cake on this one.
Full Moon Consulting.
Full Moon Consulting we have next week. So come back, same time, same place, Culture and Cannabis on Facebook. You can catch it the next day on YouTube or wherever podcasts are streamed. And maybe you'll catch me on my live as well. And that's it. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.